Let's talk Celtics. So my perception of the Celtics situation was way better in my head before I sat down and actually started looking at what they lost this offseason. But in the same breath, I do think this could set them up for a little bit of a refresh, which might have been needed a little bit. So they traded away Drew Holiday, who was still one of the best guard defenders in the league, but he wasn't as good offensively this past season as he was the year they won the chip in 2024. Kristaps Porzingis only played 57 games the year they won the chip, and in only 42 games last season. And yes, when he did play, he made them special. To me, he was their special piece. He's what made them, in my eyes, almost unbeatable. But it was impossible for him to stay on the floor. Al Horford's been fantastic for him, but it's looking like he's going to sign with the Warriors. They're just waiting to figure out what happens with Kuminga over there. Somehow Boston's been his fountain of youth. When he was on the Sixers, I honestly thought Al Horford was on his way out of the league, and then he goes back to the Celtics and looks fantastic and is a big part of them winning that championship. His counting stats aren't crazy, but he's always been consistent for the Boston Celtics. So you lose those three pieces, and Tatum's out for what I think is going to be all of next season. Some people are saying he's going to be coming back late in the year. Personally, I don't see it. Is it impossible? No. But do I think it's going to happen? Also, no. What's the silver lining here? This season can be an opportunity for Jaylen Brown to showcase, sharpen, and work on his game in a different way. And I know he's fantastic. I'm not saying he's not. He was the finals MVP when they won. But I think any team that has two players of that caliber, they're going to benefit playing off of each other. Without Tatum on the floor, defenses are naturally going to focus in and hone in on Jaylen Brown more. He's going to be the number one person that the defenses want to stop. And I think as he gets more and more used to being the opposing team's defensive focal point, the game might feel easier for him the following year when Tatum is back and he could have more confidence in his game. There's going to be opportunity for Peyton Pritchard and Derek White to do even more offensively. I know they stepped up a lot last season, especially Peyton Pritchard. I think he was fantastic last season, but without Tatum on the floor and with losing KP and Al and Drew, there's just going to be even more opportunity for those guys to do more. I'm really, really excited to see Anthony Simons on this team and see him in a situation and on a team that, no shade to Portland, has a winning culture, that has won recently. I want to see how he fits on this Boston team, and I really think his shooting is going to be a big help for this team. Speaking of shooting, I still think this Boston team's going to put up a ton of threes. Already mentioned Anthony, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White. We know those guys like to shoot, but they still got guys like Sam Hauser and Georges Niang coming off the bench. They got guys who want to put up a lot of threes. I'm curious to see what the interior presence looks like for this team, both offensively and defensively, with guys like Neemias Quinta, Luka Garza, and Xavier Tillman kind of being their three big man rotation. We'll see how successful they are with that. And we'll see if they decide to shuffle the deck and find another center option either during next season or next offseason. We'll see what they decide to do there. This coming season might not be a title contending year for the Boston Celtics, but I don't think it's going to be a year they bottom out and end up with like a high lottery pick either. I think they're definitely going to be an over 500 team and be in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference. And I'm going to be tuning into a couple of games to see how some of these other guys take advantage of the new opportunities they have.